I know that you're thinking of clicking off the video. Don't do it. This took me a while to make. Just don't do it. In this video, I spent 100 days in Minecraft. Yeah, it's pretty much 16 hours and a half, I think. This took a really long time to record and edit, so, can you spend a not really long time liking and subscribing? Oh my god, I can't say this. Oh my god, just watch the video. Just watch it, please. Just don't click off. That's all I ask. So, first, on day 1, I spawned in possibly the worst biome you could possibly spawn in. Like, come on, what is this? This is the seed, in case you're wondering. Next, I started mining these bushes, so I could get a ton of sticks out of it. And then, of course, I mined down a tree, because that's what you always do. I also found this stone that looked like a lava pool. It wasn't. And I killed a few sheep, so I had enough to make a bed. And then I kind of picked out this area, and I'm like, wow, this area is cool. I'm gonna start here. And I started mining out this grass. After that, day 1 came to a close, so I slept. On day 2, I built this temporary fence, and after that, I decided to go mining. And 8 minutes later, so I came out with 26 iron. I finally left the cave, as day 2 was coming to a close. But then, a sheep actually spawned inside my pen, which is what I was looking for, so then I go grab some shears so I could get some wool. Why am I getting wool? You'll see in a few minutes. For the entirety of day 3 and day 4, I pretty much just collected wool. And of course, I also started building my starter base. This is very starter. I'm going to leave this in like 5 minutes, I promise. And then I made some iron armor and tools. By day 4, I finished the general shape of it, and then I added the wooden outline, and if you couldn't tell, it's a tent. At the end of day 4, I actually found this jungle temple in the jungle, so I decided to raid it, and oh my god, that's a lot of bones. After I gathered the items, I went back. On day 5, I broke the pen because I had enough wool, and I furnished the inside. Next, I added a campfire outside and some paths around the campfire. Next, I made a bucket and started gathering water so I could make a farm. And then made a farm on the other side, because why not? I started using all the bone meal I got from the temple to grow the wheat and got as much as I could. This is how much I could with all that. But then, this happened. And then, guess what happened? It happened again. I was devastated. And next, they somehow found me. I don't know how they did, but they did. And once they got here, we decided to move out because this place is really small. I want to find a mangrove swamp. It's on my list of things to do for this 100 days. We spent the rest of day 8 and day 9 finding the mangrove swamp. Eventually, though, I found one. We admired the trees and their very tall roots, and then next tried to find a spot where we were going to settle down for now. We eventually found this nice flat spot, and we all started setting our respawn. And then Chase set his respawn in a different bed. I don't know why. And then the next thing I knew, there were a ton of beds. I don't know why there were a ton of beds, but there were. And then, of course, I don't know why, but Chase started to build some sort of furnace wither with a crafting table head. On day 10, Michael added the other heads for the furnace wither. And pretty much for the rest of this day, we just kind of planned out what we were going to do for our base. And we just kind of explored a bit. Oh, right. And then Chase decided to hang a frog to the top of the furnace wither, and we named it Jared. And then on day 11, I almost drowned because I ran out of sprint midway through this water tunnel. So I stopped swimming and just watched me almost die. Okay, maybe I didn't almost die, but I thought it was going to happen. I was actually fine. And for the rest of day 11, I just looked for a Pillager outpost so we could complete 2 more goals, which are play a goat horn and to find an LA. But at the end of day 11, my friends decided to log off, but they'll be back. Believe me. I know for sure they'll be back. And from day 12 to 13, I just gathered items for our base. On day 14, I moved all of our items over here because they were where the base was going to go and they were kind of in the way. I replicated it over there, and I'm finally going to do my first time lapse in 3 months. Here we go. Now you might notice something different about this time lapse. I didn't use both screens this time, I only showed the time lapse screen. And fortunately this time, spectator mode is in the game, so I could easily change camera perspectives without having to move an entire tall platform for my guy to stand on. Eventually I finished my house, and I thought it looked pretty good. The interior is not finished though. On day 21, Michael actually joined back, and soon we are going to head off to a Pillager outpost because they can house both LAs and goat horns, which I wanted to find both up during these 100 days. A few minutes later, we found one on day 22, and we decided to head towards it. Once we got closer, we found out that it was actually combined with a desert temple, so Michael raided the desert temple, and I raided the Pillager outpost. Also turns out these guys hit pretty hard on hard mode. After almost dying multiple times, I set my respawn there, and I went to raid the outpost. At the top, I found a goat horn, and it's Sing. Sing is like the most generic goat horn in the game. It's annoying. Now right here, a pillager just ran right past me. I don't know why. And guess what happened here? I died to Michael's hands. After we retrieved our items and exchanged items, we headed over to another pillager outpost because we didn't find LAs. And on day 23, we actually managed to find another one. And unlike the last one, this one actually had a cage, so we prayed that it had LAs in it. Unfortunately though, there was only an iron golem, but I decided to free it, and I let it just take care of the pillagers for us, because why not? And I apparently set my respawn right at the perfect time, because seconds later, this happened. Yeah, I died again. Eventually I made it to the top, hit this raid captain off of his own tower into the water, and then I opened this chest to find another goat horn, which fortunately isn't Sing. Finally. And then after Michael died, I called him a nerd because he's bad at the game, and then this happened. The stupid raid captain that I hit off the tower came all the way back up the tower and hit me off. On day 24, we found a village while on our way to find another pillager outpost, so we decided to loot it out, and then this happened. We started a raid. So, Michael and I did the most valiant thing we could do when we start our own raid. We just ran away and let the villagers deal with it. A few minutes later, we actually found another village, and this time I didn't have bad omen, so we went and looted it out. On day 25, we saw this huge mountain, so we decided to use the remaining durability of our pickaxes to mine iron and coal. I mined iron, and Michael went and mined some coal. We also found a 2 vein of emeralds on the mountain, which might actually be a first for me, so that was cool. And by the end of this, I mined 2 stacks of iron, and we even found a pillager outpost right next to the mountain, which was pretty funny. But there was something different about this pillager outpost than the other ones. Something very different. This one actually had LAs in the cages. 3, 1 for each of us. So, next we decided to each give them a block so they could follow us home, and we left. And on the way home, on this ocean, we decided to listen to copyrighted Pirates of the Caribbean music, you know, because why not? Once we got home, We leaded our lays to the same fence that we leaded our frog Jared to, because we didn't want them to fly away. Next, I smelted my iron, but unfortunately, this is when Michael had to leave for a bit, but he was going to be back. Definitely. A few minutes later, Chase actually logged on, and when he logged on, he was actually suffocating inside the house. After I freed him, I built the floor up in the house with packed mud, and I tried this interesting gradient with packed mud and jungle wood. It doesn't look that good, but it's interesting. Next, I built a wall with mangrove wood inside the house and left a 3-block long entryway for a doorway, obviously. After I finished the wall, I added a round shape to the top of the doorway, and I thought it looked pretty good. So, after that, I decided to make the wall on the other side as well. After I did that, I added chests on one of the sides, so we could have storage. Why else would we need chests? By the time I placed all the chests, we had 27 double chests in total, which meant each of us had access to 9 double chests, which was enough. After that, I decided to go mining because I wanted diamond stuff. I was tired of having iron, and I wanted to have diamonds so I could not die as much. A funny thing that happened, though, is I dug down right next to Chase's little hole right here, and could you possibly guess what I found right next to it? Come on, take a lucky guess. I found diamonds. And it was funny because he didn't believe me either. Next, I found some more diamonds, and it was a 6 vein, so I made a chest plate with the 8 diamonds. And after that, I found more diamonds, and then more diamonds, and then more diamonds. Can you believe it? Eventually, when I had enough for full diamond armor, I eventually started digging myself out of the cave. After I came out, Michael was back, so we decided to show him the interior of the house that I made while he was gone, and, my full diamond, because he's poor. Next, I made a really bad decision by letting Chase build the enchantment room, and, come on, look at this. What the heck is this? Like, what? Next, I lured some chickens over here because I was actually waiting for eggs, because you need eggs to make a cake. I need 2 cakes for the achievement birthday song, where you need to have an LA drop a cake next to a note block. And yes, I waited in this hole for 20 minutes for 2 eggs. After that, I needed a few milk buckets so I could make a cake. So I headed to find a cow, but also found a lava pool on the way. So I decided to mine 14 obsidian so I could make an enchantment table and another portal. After I mined the obsidian, I went to continue to find a cow because I got sidetracked. And also, after I had the milk, I placed an enchantment table in the enchantment room. After I had my 2 cakes, I brought my layoff somewhere open, hit a note block, gave it a cake, and then threw a cake down so he could pick up the cake and drop it over at the note block. That's how I got the achievement, birthday song. Then after that, I built another portal and headed off to the Nether because I wanted to get the next achievement with our powers combined. To get this achievement, you need to bring a frog into the Nether and get the frog to eat a magma cube, so they drop a frog light. And I got the first one, which I forget what it's called, but it's purple. Now I still need the other 2 frog lights, so I got 20 obsidian so I can make 2 more nether portals. Next, I found a swamp with the orange frogs, so I placed a nether portal down next to it, and then lit it up, and brought the frog into the nether, so you could eat a magma cube, and next I got the yellow frog light. I'm not going to get the other frog light for now because I don't know how to yet. After that, I made my way back home, and then I added a roof onto the enchantment room because I hadn't done that yet. I did my usual circular building pattern, like I do always. After I finished that, I made the actual entryway to this house because these 2 stairs were starting to get annoying. After I finished it, we thought it looked nice, so we decided to keep it, and then I slept. The next day, we pretty much just finished the interior roof, which I never did before. I don't know why. And I also did it inside the enchantment room. After that, we decided to go to another fortress on day 48, because why not? We found the fortress and killed a few wither skeletons because they were blocking the entrance. And then this happened. And can you guess what happened next? It happened again. And then it happened again. And then again. And then again. And again. And again. And just one more time. But then eventually, Chase got his stuff back, and we ran out of the Nether Fortress before we could die again. After we got home, I slept on day 49, and that marked our halfway point. On day 50, I decided to enchant my diamond armor, because I wanted to get some simple enchantments like protection and unbreaking on them, because they could be helpful, especially for where we're going. Our next goal was to head towards a cave, which there were no caves near us, so we kind of went pretty far. On day 52, we finally found a big cave, and we decided to head down into it. And, since I'm such a good professional at this game, I pulled off an MLG water bucket clutch here, and I almost missed it, but I made it. I'm good. After that, we went deeper into the cave, and it was a really good cave. So we decided to loot it out. On day 53, when I went to go mine some wood to make a crafting table, the inevitable happened. Like, come on, I left them for 5 minutes. So, Chase and I picked up Michael's stuff and put it in a chest for when he got back. While he was coming back, Chase and I decided to investigate further into the cave, and we found something interesting, what we came here for in the first place. We found a deep dark biome. Now, these things are incredibly terrifying, but it was on my list of 1.19 things I wanted to complete during these 100 days. We headed further into the deep dark, and I found a Skulk Shrieker, which is what summons the Warden if you activate it 4 times. Chase then tried to destroy it, but then also activated it at the same time, so I destroyed it for him. And then I got the heck out of there and let him deal with what was going to ensue. Even though it was nothing, I wasn't taking any chances. While we were leaving the cave, someone unexpected actually joined the world. It was our friend Malu. Now, this was actually her first time joining on this world, so she had to come all the way over to the mangrove swamp. Once we made it to the top, I pretty much waited for Michael to come back because he wasn't here yet, and he still had to go pretty far. On day 55, Michael finally made it, and after he got his stuff back, we decided to head back to the mangrove swamp. Once we made it back, we noticed Malu's house, which was about 20 blocks away from ours, and what can I say? It's a mangrove house in a mangrove swamp. Makes sense. After that, Michael and Malu had an idea of something fun that they could do to connect our houses together. We made a 20-block long railway. It was incredibly impractical because it's 20 blocks long. It's not worth it. It's faster to walk. On day 59, Michael and I got a bit bored, so we decided to chase each other with TNT. And then I did something really stupid. My brain just kind of shut down right here, and this is what happened. I expected it to fall on him, I'm gonna be honest. And yeah, I died. Now, the damage to the house wasn't that big, so I went back to the hole, grabbed my items, and I decided to quickly repair it as quick as I could. By day 60, the house was good as new, but Malu sadly had to log off, so it was just Michael and I again. After that, we actually went to the Nether to retrieve his stuff because he died to hoglins right next to the spawn. And surprisingly, they were pretty easy to beat. I mean, come on, they're hoglins. After that, Michael logged off, and I had absolutely no idea what to do. I had pretty much run out of ideas. On day 62, I decided to go hunt some Endermen so we could make Eyes of Ender to go fight the Ender Dragon. After I had enough eyes to finish the end portal, I decided to leave the Nether, and I turned those Ender Pearls into Eyes of Ender with the blaze rods we got earlier. And look at this. Look at this lag. On day 64, I decided to go mining for a little bit because I need a few diamonds. I had to repair my armor and my tools because they were getting low on durability. On the same day, about 5 minutes later, I found some diamonds and I mined them. A few minutes later, I found more diamonds next to this redstone. And on day 65, I eventually came up. And this tunnel is so freaking tall. Like, Look at how tall this is. It's so annoying to build back up after you go mining. On day 66, Chase joined back, and he was all the way back at the deep dark cave, so he had to try and find his way back while I mined down my ore tower here. After that, I put all of the new ores I got from this mining session in a separate chest so I didn't get them mixed up with my junk, because that would be annoying. After that, I used my new diamonds to repair my tools and my armor. On day 67, I cleared out this layer of mud right here because Chase and I were going to put a new building here. It was actually going to be a small horse stable. After that, I built up the base, and on day 68, I went mining for more mangrove wood so we could finish it. On day 69, I decided to spook Chase with a skulk shrieker, and it didn't really seem to faze him. He wasn't scared of it, until he jumped on it. He kind of jumped a bit. By day 71, we finished the horse stable, and I didn't think it looked that bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever built. On day 72, we decided to go to the Nether so we could farm leather from hoglins, which is really impractical. On day 74, my idiot mind did this, and I burnt to death. Fortunately, when I came back, only my boots had burnt, so I didn't really lose that much, and I was mad at Chase, but I was mostly mad at myself, because, I mean, come on, I jumped into lava. After that fiasco, we decided to leave the Nether with the leather we had before we lost it. On day 75, I switched out some of my armor because it wasn't that good. It was kind of bad, and it was almost broken, but I kept my leggings and my chestplate. On day 76, I decided to go find a horse, because I was tired of not having a horse, because horses are cool. I finally found a horse in the plains on the same day, and I decided to tame it. The horse was actually really good, so I went back with it. On day 77, I put the horse in the stable and gave it some diamond horse armor. After that, I decided to make some sort of path design, and I didn't really like it that much, but I wanted this place to at least be organized in some sort of way, so I decided to leave it. It was an interesting design, but I connected the house and the stable. After that, I moved the Nether portal and gave it possibly the worst design possible. I hate it. And then I connected the path to it, because I decided to. After that, I decided to connect the path to the enchantment room, because it didn't have a path leading to it yet. And once I finished the path, everything was all connected, which was great. On day 82, Chase actually logged on, so we decided to go fight the Ender Dragon, because I was running out of things to do, and I was bored. On day 82, I threw the first eye, and it went in the exact opposite direction of the house, so we followed it. On day 83, we actually found an amethyst geode right under where we threw the Eye of Ender, where it went downwards. So we decided to break all the crystals inside of it, and right when I was about to leave, we actually noticed the Stronghold right under it. Inside that hole, it led straight to the first library, so we decided to loot it out. And I kid you not, after looting this place out, it took us 15 minutes to find the portal room. It was so annoying, and it was the worst. On day 84, we finally found the portal room, and I broke the silverfish spawner. I attempted to, at least. After I finally did, I put all the eyes in the slots. After that, Chase and I built another portal so we could easily get back home after fighting the Ender Dragon. After that, we jumped into the portal and fought the dragon. And it was pretty simple. We just shot down all the end crystals. I tried to, at least. Just give me a second. I swear I hit it. I hit it eventually. Just give me a second. There we go, I got it. After a few minutes, we finally destroyed all the end crystals. But we had a little bit of a problem. The Ender Dragon was glitched in the air, so we decided to try and shoot it down with a bow. But there was inevitably a problem. I eventually ran out of arrows. Our next option was to build up and try and hit the dragon, but the dragon's hitbox was just too big, so I couldn't hit it. Fortunately, we found a way to hit it eventually, but before we did, I died. Now, this is honestly my least favorite part of the video right here because, well, the dragon got stuck like this. At 1 HP left, the dragon just wouldn't take another hit. I don't like to do this at all. I don't like to cheat, but we had no other option because we couldn't hit it. None of the hits were counting. So our only option here was to /kill it, because if we didn't, we would have to lose all of our items. And in my mind, we legitimately killed it because we technically hit it the last time we had to. I don't like to cheat usually, but This is our only option we had here. So, I'm sorry. Now that that's over with, on day 90, I placed the bookshelves inside the enchantment room so we could finally get some 30 level enchants. So, I had to disenchant my Silk Touch pickaxe, though. After I made those enchants, Michael actually joined back for the first time in like 30 days. Jeez, where did he go? And on day 92, we decided to make something very special for someone. Someone that's stuck with us since day 10. Someone that's been there. They've decided to stay there. It was a voluntary choice, and they did not want to leave us, ever. And that was our frog, Jared, that we tied up to the furnace wither on day 10. I can't believe he's still alive, to be honest, but we decided to make him a small pond. And look, he even wanted to go in. He voluntarily walked his way in. Look at that. Unfortunately, we did have to tie him up to a small island, though, because if he had maybe jumped out, we would never find him again. But at least he had access to the entire lake now. After that, on day 93, we decided to add a few final touches to the town because this was actually the last time we were going to be here. We were going to leave, and we probably weren't going to come back on day 95. We then made a plan to get out of our mission alive, and we used all of our gunpowder to make, well, an item that could be quite explosive, you could call it. On day 95, we said goodbye to this entire village we've made over the last 95 days, and we walked across this desert for the last time. Where are we going? We were actually trying to go back to this big cave that we went to on day 50. Why are we here again? Well, you'll see in a minute. On day 99, we found the deep dark that Chase and I had found back on day 50. Why are we here? Well, try and figure it out. It's day 100 and we're in a deep dark. Remember in the beginning of the video when I told you guys something crazy was going to happen at the end? Well, it's time for you guys to finally see this. The three of us are going to fight the Warden for the first time in these 100 days. And we were all really scared. Before Chase activated the Skulk Shrieker for the 4th time, we actually made a small box because our plan was to trap the Warden in this obsidian box and drop TNT on its head. After we set up the box, Chase activated the Skulk Shrieker for the 4th time and the Warden spawned. Now, remember when I said we had a plan to drop the Warden in a hole? Well, that kind of went a bit wrong here. He kind of sniffed his way over to me, and now I'm about to die. I booked it. As soon as he did his little angry thing, I ran for my life. I was out of there in seconds. I had to run or I was going to die first. So, I thought I was fine. I ran away and I lost him. Until he found me. So, he hit me with a sonic boom attack immediately, and then hit me with another one seconds later, getting me down to half a heart. And you know what, by now, I just accepted death. It was over. I died. Who would have thought? Oh my god. That is the craziest thing I've been a part of so far. Anyway, let's go watch my friends die. Okay, here's Michael. He's still alive? Chase has died, but... Oh, what an idiot. He just ran into him. Oh my god, that was insane. That was crazy. Oh my god. And this is it. This is the village that we started from. Day 10 is when we got here, I think. This was so much fun. This was incredibly fun to record. This was not that fun to edit. But anyway, this was insane. This was the best series that I've recorded so far on this channel, probably. But anyway, this is the end of the video. Please like, subscribe, and I will hopefully record again and make a video in hopefully the next 2 weeks at most. But, oh my god, that was insane.